Football and TV, my two favourite worlds, collide. Yeah, I can't help but feel like I might just be the man for this review. Hello everyone and welcome back to IMO Reviews. Today we are discussing All or Nothing Arsenal on Amazon Prime. Those of you who don't know, this is the latest All or Nothing documentary to land on Amazon Prime, where you get an inside look at the goings-on of Arsenal Football Club last season. But before we go any further, could you please be a dear, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It costs you absolutely nothing, just the wiggle of a finger, and yet it makes all the difference for my channel. You can even make it your good deed for the week, because it certainly will put a smile on my face, and we thank you if you do. And of course, I think a certain shirt needs addressing in this review. I thought it was important to wear my own team's colours so that the audience are aware of my own perspective, where this is coming from. We've conquered all of Europe. We're never going to stop. From Paris down to Turkey, we've won the fucking lot. I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I'm not going to be wearing rose-tinted glasses. And I'm also not a Tottenham or Chelsea fan, so I'm also not going to be looking at this through hateful eyes. So have no fear, there is no bias here. But that's enough of the chit-chat. What did I like about All or Nothing Arsenal? It's always fun to get an inside look of a team to a sport that you religiously follow. You do get a deeper context and understanding of personalities and behaviours of these players and staff, and a deeper understanding of what the goal is. What does this club stand for? What do they tolerate? What do they not tolerate? And how do they view success? It always creates fun conversation for the fans, going back and forth and belittling each other. Your club hasn't done anything for 10 years. Oh yeah, well, what have you done? I love it. Football is well and truly back. I think the person that you discover the most about would be Mikel Arteta, the Arsenal manager, or head coach for American viewers. He is a relatively new figure in coaching as it is, and he is a bit of an unknown commodity. So this documentary was very insightful in understanding what his tactics are, what his frame of mind is like, how does he react when he wins, how does he react when he loses, what's he like on a one-to-one basis with his players, how does he cope with the stress of one week losing 4-0 and the following week winning 2-0. It was a very up and down season for Arsenal last year, and I think the documentary did a good job to stay focused on Mikel Arteta and see how he handles it. And I ultimately walked away with confirmation of what I already thought of the guy. He is a good coach, but he's young and he still has loads to learn. But it was nice to see it actually played out, see how his mind ticks, what are his crazy new ideas, his new training regimes. Does he tolerate the ego of the players, or is he just a, nope, we all pull the same line here? All of that was really fascinating to see. I also liked how much they spoke to actual fans as well. In previous All or Nothing documentaries, I feel like that was missing. They would only talk to the fans on 2 or 3 occasions maximum. Whereas here, I feel like they spoke to fans on 2 or 3 occasions per episode, which gave you a better understanding of how their emotions unfolded as the season progressed. When things were bad, they were feeling down in the dumps, and when things were good, they were getting that resurgent hope, but they just didn't want to say it. They didn't want to definitely say, yes, we're good, we're back, because, well, as any good sports fan knows, that's usually when it's all going to come crumbling down. You can feel their sense of passion and their love for this club, and it really just comes beaming off the screen, simply because it talks to real people, people that I myself, as a sports fan, can 110% relate to. And they don't make the fans out to be idiots or stupid. No, they offer genuinely insightful opinions. And as much as people probably aren't really here for this, Daniel Kaluuya is the narrator for the series. And it really did cross my mind just how good his voice is for documentary. He's really good at it. He just has the perfect voice for voiceover. I also thought the release format was fantastically planned. So the way this documentary was given to you was that every Thursday you will get 3 one-hour episodes for 3 weeks straight. And that really was perfect, because 3 hours of content gave me more than enough for me to sink my teeth into, but it still left me wanting more, wanting to find out what happens next. And every time Thursday came around, I did have that little thought in the back of my mind of, new episode of All or Nothing. Releasing it 1 episode a week it's a bit too long-winded and it's probably not going to give me enough to care and stay invested for the following week. And if you released it all at once, well, I'm just going to binge that in a day and probably have forgotten it by the end of the week. By doing it this way, you kept people interested and you kept people talking about it. Very well done. But it isn't perfect, and I have some pretty big cons that need addressing. The first one is the biggest one, and it cannot be ignored. The way they address the Super League in this documentary is frankly embarrassing. They act like it was no big deal. There's nothing to worry about here, and they make zero effort or attempt to explain it or dissect it for its audience. There's no mention whatsoever of what a shambolically diabolical money-making scheme these billionaires came up with that was going to kill the game we know and love. And let's not sweep it under the carpet because they're still planning on doing it. This hasn't gone away. The Super League is going to rear its ugly head again. And we as fans have to unite together to stop it if we want to save our sport. You cannot look at one of the biggest sports headlines of the last 10 years, brush it over with a quick sentence of, oh yeah, that happened, but we're moving on now. And it's just tragic because it's so clear why you didn't dissect it. Amazon themselves have licensing rights to the football. They're not going to suddenly start talking crap and saying, we don't like the way you do things. No, because they'll lose the money. But it's nice to know that Amazon Prime, just like those billionaires, don't give a crap about football. Sadly, money really does make the world go round. And that really does dovetail into my next complaint. Calling this a documentary is actually way too flattering. It's a puff piece. They all are. Because if there's anything positive that happens, oh, you get that in full detail. You'll get to see the wrinkles, the spots, all of it. Anything that shines, yeah, you can get full access to that. But on the less shiny days, when the bad things are happening, well, we'll give you a 5-second image of Lacazette randomly choosing to strangle Cedric Suarez on a training pitch with no reason behind it, that was just skipped, or what the conclusion was to that fight. Because heaven forbid the singlest bit of shade is thrown at any of these clubs. You do realise the people watching this show are die-hard football fans who will have watched pretty much every single game of the past season, and they will be following sports channels, sports apps, newspaper headlines. Like, we know what's going on. I don't understand why you want to just skim past it like it didn't happen. It doesn't make it look better, it just makes you look like bad documentary makers. It's not relying on you wanting to pick up facts or learn deeper things, it's expecting you to just buy into the passion of it. I was going to give Arsenal All or Nothing a 7 out of 10, but because of the shameful omission and handling of the Super League, you lose a whole arse point for that. 6 out of 10. Now, don't get me wrong, because I had a lot of complaints and I borderline sounded like I was going to incite a riot then. I did enjoy watching it. I always do enjoy watching sports documentaries, but I'm also under absolutely no illusion as to what this is and what it's trying to achieve. It's a puff piece to make the club look good. And I really do wish that Amazon would just be a bit bolder and treat its audience like human beings that do know better. Because we do, and we are well aware of how much you're just not telling us, just skipping over, or flat out lying about. You can't do that in documentary making. Thank you for watching this review. Please be sure to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And please do hit the comment section as well. Have you seen All or Nothing Arsenal? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next review.